Hello everyone, today is Saturday, October 31st, and this is Shop Talk. My name is Mike and I want to welcome you to my workshop. I'm out here in the shop working on the toy storage today. So we don't actually celebrate Halloween. We will be passing out candy for the neighborhood kids, and our children will dress up and they get excited about that. But I wanted to take an opportunity this afternoon to get as much done as I could on the toy storage cabinets while I have a little bit of time. So this can kind of give you an idea of what they look like. I'm building two like this particular unit, and then two that will be a stair step. So they start off a little bit taller than this one, and then they stair step down, and they're 3 wide just like this one. But this particular one and its duplicate will house 9 of these smaller storage bins. But for the sake of kind of being able to stack them in here, because I don't have the grooves cut in, I've placed a spacer piece of plywood in between them. But actually they'll be a little bit more spaced. There will be a space at the bottom just below this bottom bin, and it'll have grooves that it'll slide in. Another little gap, the second bin, another gap, and then the third bin will actually be just about a 1/2 inch below that top rail. So that's kind of the spacing. The idea being it's interchangeable. You could use the 9 smaller bins, or there's a medium-sized bin that takes the place of 2 of these bins, and so you could mix and match from there. And then the entire case is made from this 3/4 inch birch plywood, and I've taken a bunch of mahogany and planed it down to 3/4 thick, and of course I'll be putting some edging on the front of these 2 middle dividers once I have good solid measurements for what those need to be. I'll cut those as well. So the little toe kick is about 2 inches high, and this little top rail is 1.5 inches. The idea being that these 2 smaller units can also double as benches. So in our front toy room, it's also a classroom for our boys. We homeschool our children, and so we really need some additional organization in there. Looked at some Ikea furniture that met this same purpose, and ultimately decided, because the shipping was so extravagant, that I could build these for less than what it would cost to purchase all of the new ones. And it would be a much nicer, the Ikea, although it's well constructed, it would all be stained grade pine, whereas this is the birch, and I had this mahogany from an old headboard, so I didn't have to purchase that. So this is kind of just a rough dry assembly, kind of get an idea of what it's going to look like. I do plan to chamfer all of the outside edges of the cabinet, and the construction, I think I've mentioned before, I plan to use my Festool domino for the first time since I purchased it. So the domino joiner, I think, is ideal for this type of piece. So I'll be using the domino and all of the ends of the plywood. And I don't know, I've considered using pocket hole screws for the inside back of these top rail and bottom rail because you won't see it, and I think that I could get a much tighter joint by sucking that side wall up with a pocket hole screw. I haven't completely decided 100% on that, but that's about it. Other than that, I've been kind of cutting all of the sections up to their final dimension. I've got a couple more behind me still in clamps. These are the last 2 in clamps, and then I'm in the process of dimensioning all of the pieces to their final dimension before I get to chamfering all of the edges. I'm going to take some chalk and mark all of the edges that I want to chamfer so I don't get confused. I don't think I'm going to chamfer these. For one, I want a nice flush fit on the front of this with the top rail, and 2, once these are glued on, I actually have to still, before I assemble this case, I've got to cut dados for these trays to slide in. So it's about a 1/2 inch dado into both the outside walls, both sides of these dividers, and this outside wall. And so I'm not sure how that would look if this was chamfered, plus it has dados going in on either side. So haven't fully decided on that, but that's a minor detail. But it's getting closer. I'm starting to feel a little bit better about my progress so far. So that's about it. If you haven't already, I encourage you to hit the subscribe button to my channel. I plan to start doing more project videos as I start to get my shop more in order. Been in here about 6-7 months now, and so still a little bit of disarray. You could probably see that in some of my videos. And I'm still working on some shop upgrades. You might get a clue to what one of those is in this particular project update, but still working on a video for that as well. And I also do kind of some regular shop updates and any kind of quick tips that I can come up with here in the shop. I share those with you as well. So please subscribe, share my channel if you would. That's greatly appreciated, and thanks for watching.